In this episode of 10x Forward, our focus shifts to these key players shaping Braga's entrepreneurial landscape, Altice Labs and Automaise. As a significant supporter of the city's ecosystem, Altice Labs' participation has been crucial in fostering growth and innovation. Meanwhile, Automaise, arising around the time of Startup Braga's creation, has emerged as a standout platform highlighted both nationally and internationally.
Maria, welcome to Braga.
Thanks, Ernesto.
Pleasure to have you here. Actually, our paths, but our brands kind of cross because we also supply for Altice, not Altice Labs, but in Lisbon, Altice, Portugal. I know that Altice has been involved in this ecosystem from startups, innovation for a long time. It's actually part of your DNA, right? Mm-hmm. Tell us a bit how Altice is seeing this innovation, the entrepreneurship, all this happening, if it's booming, if it's kind of slow now. How do you see it?
Well, hi Ernesto, thanks. Yes, for Altice Labs, the open innovation ecosystem is a really important asset for our business and for our technological units. I do believe that we are growing, we are not slowing on that, and Startup Braga is a huge example of that, being ranked as one of the 10 most important incubators hubs of Europe, as we've heard recently on the news, on Financial Times, right. is really impressive. So I think it's a clear sign of how this ecosystem is growing, and I do believe that the connection with large enterprises and international groups like Altice is of most importance for both sides of this quest, of this challenge. Improving and stimulating an open ecosystem in different regions, and Braga is a really important region for us. It is really important. So I believe that we are on a up movement.
Yeah, amazing. Because I've seen this kind of two speeds. Because like last decade, everyone was crazy about startups. Everyone wanted to build their own startup. But now, at least like when you start this decade, like in 20, of course there's COVID, of course, and can slow down everything. Mm-hmm. But now I think it's kind of picking up again. I see more products, they are more interesting. I think people is also more, I won't say professional, won't be the right word, but they are a bit more careful on the product they pick, on the way they think about the product up front, like the business plan, how I go to market. Which is great because sometimes people come up only with their idea, they have no clue if this has market fit or will have market fit. So I think people is becoming more aware that this is not easy. It is a long journey, painful as well. Sometimes like a roller coaster. Sometimes you're happy, you are down. So now we are seeing people that actually wants to build something because they truly believe that it can solve a problem, not just because I want to have a startup, because it's cool, I'm the CEO. So I think it's a very interesting shift. So we'll probably be seeing fewer projects, but with higher quality. At least from the most recent startup project and program and shows I've attended to, I have that feeling. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, I do agree. I think that in the early stages of this movement, we had a lot of initiatives clearly related to the fact that this was a new movement attracting a lot of entrepreneurs. We then went to a slow side of that movement, but now we are on a point where I think that mostly aligned with the fact that there are some public policies that are coming from the governments, from the European Union, that are giving direction both to different countries, but also to the ecosystem, helping small enterprises and startups to better understand the moves that are right to do. I also believe that there's some themes some application areas that are now more clear, and of course, artificial intelligence and your enterprise is really, your startup is really
it's all
aligned
the
with
race
that.
right now. Everyone is crazy about AI.
Helped a lot to better understand what are the clear moves to do, and also sustainability and environment. I think that these two themes are growing in a very interesting way and are showing direction. And now this direction is really helping startups to better understand where they must place their investments.
Absolutely. For sure, of course, sustainability goals are key because they are being actually funds only targeting for sustainability, circular economy. So all those are themes because they are also being boosted by these EU funds and other kinds of funds. But AI right now is the word of the moment, right? So everyone is talking about AI, generative AI. Since OpenAI released ChatGPT like 1 year and a half ago, everyone went crazy about AI. They think they now see AI like the silver bullet for everything, which is actually not true.
It's not so much.
Not so much. So not so fast but the potential is there. So in the pace we are seeing now for innovation, I think it's unique because the rhythm that we are now seeing, all these juggernauts competing like Microsoft, OpenAI is Microsoft, but Google and Amazon. So we are now in a race, and there are other aspects not so positive, but let's keep them aside. But focus a bit on our reality because we are a small country, Southern Europe, a bit far off from these big economies with all this money. But it's still interesting to see things coming out of Portugal that are actually quite good because I went to the US for this startup show called Startup Grind 1 month ago in Silicon Valley, and actually what I've seen there. So of course they have more money, they can iterate faster.
It's a different system.
Yeah, it's faster. Everything's move faster. People iterate faster, which
and
is
venture
good.
capital is used in a different way.
But the process I've seen there not that different from the ones we have here. I think we are even a bit more careful the way we pitch, the way we present our value proposition than what I've seen there. So what I'm trying to say is that we are not behind them in the talent we have, in the ideas. We just have the same resource. That's the problem. We don't have the same resource, and of course we are doing it out of Portugal, which is also another layer of difficulty we have on top. But still, we have great success out of Portugal. We have seen some companies becoming unicorns out of Portugal. So,
going back to AI and talking about agility and the way that we have to move faster, as going back to that cultural difference between Portugal and the States. Automaise, your startup, is working on that domain, and it's really interesting to see how you are using artificial intelligence to improve the efficiency and productivity of the customer engagement journey on social media. And that's a kind of where our paths cross.
Exactly, yeah.
It's very interesting to notice that. Can you please tell us a little bit of
there's a fun
that
fact
journey?
Because Altice was our first customer going live. So not the first one that we signed, but the first one going live. And they approached us. So the Francisco's team approached us and tell, hey, we have this huge pain that is managing our all social media presence because we are in Instagram, Facebook, the Twitter or X now. And it's a pain because we get a lot of comments when Ronaldo wins the award. There's a bunch, there's this overload of comments, and hey, we cannot keep up with the demand. We have this huge backlog. Can you help us solve this problem? And it was an interesting challenge. And we've been working with Altice since then, like 2018. So it's been a successful partnership since then. And and at the end of and also there's a good point because one of the challenges, at least the way I see it, and I'll talk with other founders, they all say the same. It's getting attention from the corp world or the business, because one thing is for you to come up with an idea and build a minimum viable product. The other thing is to have clients, actually real world clients, using your technology and taking value or giving feedback to you. Hey, this is not working. So you better iterate, find something different, because this is actually not providing.
And that's the ultimate goal for an enterprise like Altice when scouting and mentoring a startup.
Exactly.
It's of course to create value to our business and technological units, and the digital team that you indicated is an excellent example, but also help these startups to grow and to develop with less risk. And so it's a really, really interesting example.
I keep saying this even to Luis. Hey, we need to kind of reduce the gap between the startup world and the enterprise world, because they need to. The startup world needs the enterprise world to validate concepts, to actually show that the concepts are valid, they deliver, and they should grow. Or no, forget it. There's no way. Don't go down that path. And sometimes what I see in these acceleration programs is that there's a huge gap. Companies are there, but they are not actually interested in actually giving a chance to startups. It's more just, okay, I'm a partner of this program, just to put the logo there. And that's probably for me, that's the wrong reason. They should be there because they actually want to provide assistance and to help these products grow or fail, but fail fast.
Yeah, fail
right?
fast.
Because sometimes in Portugal, we have this idea that I want to keep trying my product until the very last resource I have. Probably that's wrong, because if you don't succeed or at least get traction in probably a couple of years, that's a bad sign. Okay, or either you are marketing your product wrong, or you are not have the ability to sell. Then you need to find someone to help you sell, or the product doesn't have any market demand. So. And the best way to try that is having corporates side by side, just iterating. And I have some good examples out of Portugal where they have this very close relationship with, they promote.
Yeah, that's what we are trying to do at Altice Labs, and we are very proud of this partnership with Startup Braga and with this vision. I also do believe that a closer connection with the academia, with universities, could help us. That's one of the huge differences, besides the venture capital cycle of funding, between Europe and the States. And we see that this connection with academia is different there. And we have to be able to do that move. And we have the resources here in Portugal, because we are a small country. We have close connections, regionally speaking. So it's on our hand to do that move. But talking about geographies, I'm very curious to know how do Automaise is crossing boundaries.
Okay, Automaise is actually, we are right now we are in Portugal and Spain, Iberia. So we have, that's where we have our clients today. Lately, we have been growing steadily for the last 2-3 years since we did like not a shift in terms of technology. Again, it's a way to you need to find kind of your niche, your value proposition. And for us, to be honest, it took us a while to find that, because first we are following the dream of the platform like OutSystems, but to build AI solutions with this no-code approach. That was our initial goal, still is, okay, but probably it's a bit on hold. It's super hard to sell tools, technology, because people is looking for solutions for problems they have. This match. And since we did like this twist in terms of our value proposition, the way we pitch or we position our product, then we start growing in a good pace. And we work with major brands in Portugal and Spain. And now we are opening a new market. Actually, we are hiring right now for the US to open a local presence in the US. Things are progressing quite well right now for us. But again, it needs iteration. It needs finding your niche.
And on that going global move, which is really an important challenge for us, of course. What do you think are the major challenges if you want to go global with an enterprise like Altice or like Altice Labs?
Yeah, definitely. For us, partners, both in terms of a client, a partner client, or partner in terms of technology, are key. And therefore, these international brands are get a step closer to open new markets. One, because they are known brands or known logos outside of Portugal, which helps selling outside. Because if you only go to Portuguese logos, yeah, it's nice, but it's your backyard. So
they don't.
Yeah. First, get
trust.
Get the logo here, and then we can start discussing. That's one. The other one, and probably this is the direct one. So this one is basically once you get the logo, you get the case study, you go outside, because Altice, which is a French group in working on X countries, helps a lot. And the other one, of course, is if you have success or a good case study in Portugal, you can try to replicate in other BUs for inside the brand. It's a harder path. It sounds easier than it actually is, because Portugal also suffers from the fact that we are peripheric country, even for these orgs. Although, of course, Altice Portugal is a strategic unit for Altice France, because it's a big money maker. But again, it's peripheric. If you are working with Altice in France, for sure, it will be easier for them to go to Altice Portugal, US, whatever. This is where we are. Of course, we have these huge ambitions. Me and my co-founder, we have been working since 2000 with Mobicomp. We've been working internationally. Portugal was just a starting point. And actually, Portugal is also a very good country to test technology. But again, the economy is super small, it's limited. And we've been doing it all the time out of Braga. So again, so there's no need to be in Lisbon. That's what I'm trying to say. It helps a bit, but it's not mandatory. And of course, with these ambitions, of course, our plans is to grow, to accelerate in the coming years. We are fundraising, and it's not to grow 10 times; it's to grow 100 times. That's exactly what our goal is for next years.
Great goal.
But tell a bit Altice Labs, because you belong to Altice, this major group, but we also a tech. In the sense that we build technology inside the group and outside the group, right?
Yeah, we are responsible for the innovation of the Altice Group, but we work for different operators, for different geographies, and going global is a really important challenge for us right now. We have an important direction on this open ecosystem challenge, and we work with a lot of startups. Startup Lisboa, Startup Braga are really important for us. And of course, connecting with academia is also a tool for us to relate more directly to new research and to help us to innovate. But as I was saying, we are responsible for the innovation of the whole group. In a broader sense, the connection with academia, with PhD students, with master students, is of major importance for large enterprises and for innovation. And we have to be able to bridge this gap and bring research to the industry levels, and to, of course, on the other direction, to go to the universities. And this transfer. The technology movement must be on both directions. I do believe that hubs like Startup Braga, Startup Lisboa, and other kind of initiatives on this level also help us to better connect universities, because most of the ideas that come from these CEOs of startups come from university students that just finished their graduation. Have great ideas and then incubate. Sometimes they incubate inside universities, and then they fly out of the universities to startup incubators and accelerators like Startup Braga. So it's an ongoing cycle that we have first to better understand and then to stimulate. And of course, at Altice Labs, we do understand the importance of dancing together with all these players. And we are just another player. We are not best than any of the stakeholders on this ecosystem. We do know that we have a huge responsibility when mentoring and scouting both startups and small medium enterprises, but also ideas that come from academia. And we are very aware of this, and we are trying to make new and innovative moves on that strategic vision that we would like to build to a better insights on that open ecosystem that has to incorporate, of course, academia. We also are aware that most of the students now start to think about this enterprise thoughts before than it was usual to,
Because universities are also now trying to create this, I'll call it entrepreneurship sense or...
And there are some specific curricular units on that. I know that both in University of Minho and University of Aveiro and in other universities, students can learn how to invest. So what I believe is that you cannot go to the end of the cycle of the graduation. You have to start on the beginning, and you have to start to scout and mentor students from the first year, not on the last year. Because in the last year, they already know what they want, and they probably will not want you. They will want another company. So you have to engage early on the process, and you have to be at university from the start, and also be at the incubator hub, as we are here today, proudly participating in this commemoration of the 10 years of Startup Braga.
I think there's also a responsibility from these companies as well to support these ecosystems, the universities as well, to provide mentorship, as you mentioned. Actually, Automaise we are way smaller than Altice for sure, but still I think we are do our part, because we do these summer internships. We have these. We submit our project to university for students to start also getting real world projects in the process where they make sense. But yeah, definitely there's this responsibility also for the enterprise world and the companies to be closer, to mentor, to provide guidance, and as well then the student needs to do the other part, which is from the very first moment start teaching them or creating these I will call these soft skills around management, entrepreneurship, and with that probably we'll get more people coming out of university with not only with the ideas, because they already have the ideas, but with more more skillful or resourceful to actually execute them.
Yeah, true.
And I mentioned moments ago that we don't need to be in Lisbon to be successful. Of course, it makes it a bit easier, but it's not mandatory. And I recall perfectly when I first heard about Invest Braga and the huge ambitions they were highlighting for their X years plan, probably 10 years plan. They present publicly here in Braga. The way Braga is attracting investment, and you see, probably you are not from Braga, but probably you don't have the past and today. But the city right now is lively. It's more vibrant. Lots of service, of course, because there's more demand. That's one comes after the other, right, or in tandem. And of course, then the incubator is just a part of this of Invest Braga. And of course, we Automaise we were born in the incubator, so in the fifth generation. We've been there for the first 2 or 3 years, if I recall correctly. And of course, this was also key for us, being in Braga, taking advantage of all these motion that start growing around the city, which also help us as well, having this also the motivation and try to be part of that. That's exactly what I think. They being try to be part of this movement. Startup Braga was phenomenal in the sense that they provided not only the office, because again it's just an office, but also the ecosystem. For us, the ecosystem was key, was and still is key. It's being part of an ecosystem where people not get access to information, to support, share information, share support, tell our pains, get others' feedback. So that was very important for us, being part of this ecosystem. That's why we never left, actually. Of course, we left physically, but we never left the ecosystem because we want to still be part. That's why I'm always available when I can to be present. And again, because Startup Braga is doing a great job, as you mentioned moments ago as well, we are known in Portugal as a center of excellence. So people coming out of this ecosystem is known to be okay. If they come from that ecosystem, at least they meet the bar, at least. How do you see as well the perception? What is your perception of this Startup Braga, Invest Braga, all these entities?
Yeah, it's the perception of a great example, and as I mentioned before, being marked as one of the 10 best incubators and accelerators in Europe is a clear sign of the excellent work that Startup Braga has been doing. I do believe that Braga, in the national context, is well known as an important hub for industry, both on the classic industry level and on a more innovative vision, clearly leveraged by the university. The University of Minho, I think, plays a very, very important role on this movement of Braga as a very important hub for accelerating and innovating economy and innovation. For Altice, it's a really we are really proud of. I think for the last 10 years working with Startup Braga and mentoring and helping this ecosystem to grow. And we've been able to maintain resident spaces in this building. It's an important proof of our investment. And since 2021, awarding the best prize of the Startup Acceleration Program with 20,000 euros, like we will be awarding today. So it's an important instrument for us to recognize the value that is being created in Braga. When comparing the ecosystem of Braga with other similar ones on the country, we see that there's this influence of the industry, of the traditional and classical industry. I think it's a kind of a mindset that probably goes with families. We know that you are from Braga, you have this mindset of investing and of the industry ecosystem level. It's something that I know that all the country is aware of, and it's very, very, very interesting. It's a kind of a mark, and that helps a kind of a cultural move. You guys are proud of being part of this heritage of a well and very, very, very rich industry ecosystem. I think it's an important asset for you to continue to grow, looking for your past and also building the future. Of course, Startup Braga will continue to grow, and we'll have all the support from Altice in the future.
And for Altice, in terms of investment, how do you see the coming years?
Yes, we have different instruments to this kind of support. I will have to mention our Altice International Innovation Award, AIA, and of course 5G Challenge and the Enter program. We started with Blue Start, which was the former program supported by Altice Portugal, now Portugal Telecom first, and now Altice Portugal.
Back in the day.
Yeah. But the Enter program is really a good example of a kind of a venture capital corporate initiative that helps startups and small medium enterprises to work together with our business and digital technological units and to work together with us to grow, and we scout startups and help them to build investments.
Margarida, thank you very much for coming to Braga. It was a pleasure.
My pleasure.
And look forward for the next conversation. Thank you very much.